I would like to introduce the network meta-analysis. What is the meta-analysis? Meta-analysis usually compare only two interventions at a time, but the network meta-analysis are a comprehensive and coherent set of a comparison based on all of the available evidence. We can mention two types of network meta-analysis. The first is indirect treatment comparisons, and the second is mixed treatment comparison. What are the advantages? In the absence of trials involving a direct comparison of the treatment of the interest, and direct comparison can provide useful evidence of the difference in the treatment effects among competent intervention and for judiciously selecting the best choice of the treatment. And the studies have to meet different kinds of requirements. For example, a network meta-analysis requires RCT's evidence. A network meta-analysis should contain more than two RCTs connecting and more than two interventions. And the treatment can be continuous and dichotomous data. And all clinical trials should have a common comparator. It can be placebo or standard care. The first is indirect treatment comparison. In first network, we can see that intervention B has been compared to intervention A. It is A-B trial. And intervention C has been compared to intervention A. It is AC trial. And indirect treatment comparison can estimate a relative treatment effect of B versus C, so we don't have to conduct a new clinical trial. The second network would permit indirect comparison for B, D, C, E, and indirect comparison can be performed for B versus D and E versus C or B versus D. The third network, we can see that not all clinical trials have a common comparator, because the common comparator is A and F. But all interventions are still connected. F and G are connected with E, B, C, D, A by FG trials and EF trials. Indirect comparison of each intervention with any other is possible, although comparisons with longer paths will have less precision. A network in which some of comparison have both direct and indirect evidence is called mixed treatment comparisons. Why is it so good for us? If there is some reason that we may not be confident in the results to head-to-head studies, for example, results are not precise, low study quality, manufacturer-supported study size, and small number of trials. And we can see the number of the published meta-analysis and network meta-analysis in 2017. Number of the published meta-analysis were more than 16,000 in 2017, and the number of published network meta-analysis were more than 1,000. And we can see a significant difference between number of published meta-analysis and network meta-analysis. Very few network meta-analysis were published because of mentioned requirements, because these requirements are very strict. Thank you for your attention.